Welcome back. It's your boy, Malfunction. Welcome to your healing journey. How you guys doing today? Hope you're doing good. We're gonna get right into it. Before we get into it though, click that link in the description to learn from my mentors, to learn how to grow your YouTube channel more effectively, get actual money from YouTube, from your views, okay, and grow your channel authentically. All right. Now, today I would like to say something because today I normally don't know what I'm going to talk about for these videos until the day of. So when I wake up, and it takes me about 2 hours to wake up, I sit and I listen to videos to get ideas, like motivational videos, healing videos, to get ideas. And so that's what I did today. And I had a really good thought that hit me. It was like a flashback of what I went through as a kid, and it hit me now. It was something my grandfather always told me, and it just hit me. And of course, I learned this throughout some books. If you watched my 4 Agreements books, I've talked about that. If you watch my 4 Agreements video, talking about the book, I've talked about what I'm about to talk about right now. Just a little bit more, not in depth. So right now, today, we're gonna talk about, it's gonna be about making assumptions. So why making assumptions is the downfall of people's character, okay? And I'm saying it's the downfall of people's character because that's not who, if you learn about assumptions, that's not who you are. You know, you'll get good at problem solving instead of just making up a fairy tale story in your head, okay? And making assumptions is I've done it so much in my life, especially like when I was younger, because my grandfather was always telling me, stop making assumptions, stop making assumptions, stop making assumptions. He's told me this. He said, when you make assumptions, it's like you already have a predetermined outcome in your head without talking to the person, without asking the questions to the person you're trying to make an assumption on, if that makes sense. So I'll give you an example, like me, and it's like basically it's like you already have the outcome, you already have the answer in your head without asking the person that you need to ask. So super easy, all right? So it's like this. It's like being able to talk to your mom, right? And then you talk to your mom and you'd be like, you don't ask her the question. You just make the assumption that you can have ice cream before dinner, right? And then your mom comes downstairs and she sees you eating an ice cream and she's like, why are you eating dessert before dinner? And you're like, I don't know. I assumed I could have it, right? You didn't ask her. So then you get in trouble for not asking, right? It's a simple thing, a little thing, right? And it's crazy. So he also said this. He said this. My grandfather said, don't assume anything, because once you already make the assumption of something, you literally make an ass out of yourself. You make the first 3 letters of the word that you're trying not to do out of yourself. Sorry guys, I'm being a little distracted because this guy right here. Hey, can you go to your pad, please? I'm talking. Good boy, go. Thank you. You can have dad's attention when I'm done. Anyways, so he said, don't assume nothing. It only makes an ass out of yourself. And then he went on to say, ask questions to people. That's how you stop making assumptions. So if you would ask your mom, you know what I mean? Hey mom, can I have an ice cream before dinner? She most likely would have said no, but you wouldn't have gone into the fridge and got the ice cream and then got in trouble for making the assumption, okay? And when it comes to making assumptions, a lot of times what happens especially in relationships, like if you're in a relationship with a female or a male, and I'm not trying to be biased because both parties do it, but a lot of the times from what I've seen, a lot of times females make assumptions before they ask questions because they're emotional creatures. They're not logical creatures. They will go off their emotions first instead of what really is supposed to be happening. So, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I just seen it more with females because females are more emotional than men, you know? I think I told this story as well. My grandfather basically, it's so funny because this situation, I used what my grandfather told me against him. And it was funny because in all actuality, my grandma took my side, which is crazy. And what happened was I was walking home from school. I got right to the house, and my grandfather just bought this nice little truck, and he had the windows down, and it was gonna rain. I'm walking home from the bus stop, you know, at the park, and I get home, and I just walk right by his car. I don't see the windows closed. I mean, I don't see the windows open. I just see his car, and it's like halfway in the garage, halfway not in the garage. So I just walk right past it. I go inside. I put my book bag up, and you know, I say hi to my grandma and grandpa, and then it starts raining. It starts raining real bad. Maybe like 5 minutes after I came inside. My grandfather's like, he yells my name. I come downstairs. I was like, yeah. He was like, why didn't you tell me my windows was down when it was raining? I was like, I genuinely didn't see it. And he was like, oh, that's bullshit. You seen it? You walked right past it. I was like, Grandpa, I was like, are you assuming that I seen that your window's down when I walked by? And he's like, you damn right, I'm assuming because you did. And I was like, no, I didn't see your windows because honestly, when I was walking by, I was looking down, and it's crazy because I remember looking into his like side door and just seeing my reflection like walking by because he had a silver car. And so it was so crazy. Like, this is maybe when I was like a sophomore or junior in high school. And my grandma was like, shut up, Thomas. He didn't see your windows was closed. And then it was just funny. It was funny. Like 5 minutes after that, though, he comes to me and he's like, I apologize, Mal. I didn't mean to make an assumption to make you. And like, it was so cool to see that. Like, and to even be able to talk about this right now, it's like so cool to see it. I think I'm just going to take this one to the grave. I did happen to see the windows open. I was just a little mischief, badass motherfucker, so I told him I didn't. And then, like, I used it against him. I feel like an asshole for admitting it now, but it felt good to be like, yeah, you know, because my grandfather was always teaching me shit. So to use something that he taught me, but it wasn't even like genuine at the time. I was like 16, but it wasn't genuine. Shit was still funny because I had my grandma on my side, which is fucking dope. And like, she told him to be quiet. And she don't cuss. She was never a cussing woman, okay? But she's like, shut up, Thomas. And like, if you guys know, then you know. If you don't, then you don't. But I miss that woman. I miss that man. R.I.P. to them. R.I.H. Wherever they are, man. Their energy, I love them. Anyways, I'll give you another example on how making assumptions can cost you your character. All right. I had a good friend of mine, a close friend of mine. He's a family member. But anyways, me and him were discussing some stuff late. I think it was last week. But anyways, he had one of his good friends driving like 45 minutes to basically go get some good weed, right? Some medicinal. And my close friend, you know, my family member, he has a family of his own. So his close friend was driving 45 minutes to go get some weed. All right. My family member was waiting on that person. So what happens was, like I said, my family member has family of his own. So he had to get his family situated. he never really has time for himself because he has family. So what happened was the family got to leave. He's at the crib by himself waiting for his friend. His friend says it's gonna be like 45 minutes. He's like, all right, cool. My family member passes out. All right, he passes out, and he wakes up maybe like an hour later, hour and 20 minutes later. He's like, damn, he's seeing all these messages from his friend, and he's like, damn. His friend had made the assumption that he didn't want to go to the store for him, which wasn't the case. And in reality, he just fell asleep. And so what happened was he basically like almost ruined a relationship because he started saying things that he didn't mean, and then he exposed his assumption. You know, he was like, if you didn't want to go to the store for me, just say that. We grown men, da 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 da. But not knowing, my family member was just passed out on the couch because he doesn't really have free time around his family. So that really stuck with me. And that stuck with me because, for one, my family member's friend actually had, you know, like they're close, so they have their location. You could have just checked the location, seen he was inside the crib. He's like, oh shit, you know. And they're like close to the point where you could knock on the door, you can bang on the glass sliding door, you can hop the fence, you can be like, yo, let's go. But he didn't do none of that. He just took it to in himself. He only took it to his own account, basically. That the person didn't want to do that for him. But the crazy thing is, they both smoke. So like, my family member needed some weed too. But it's just making assumptions, man. Making assumptions will be the downfall of your character. He lost a good relationship just by saying, if you don't want to do it, you could have just told me not to do it. Instead of being like, damn, man, like, look, it's hard. It's hard. I understand. But if you let your emotions get to you, you won't. It's a downfall. It's a downfall. You know what I mean? That's why men are logical and females are emotional. We use our head, females use their emotions, right? And that's why if he could have just checked his location, you know what I mean? If he could have just waited for another 5 to 10 minutes, excuse me, then he would have had what he needed. And then the crazy thing is, he blocked him on everything. Like, everything. Deleted his number, blocked his number, Snapchat, Instagram, even the PlayStation, I think. Anyways, it's just like, I don't know. Like, when you make assumptions about that, you only make yourself look bad at the end. You genuinely do when you make assumptions. And how you cannot make assumptions is you ask questions. You ask problem-solving questions. If you have a question in your head, or if you're making an assumption already, like, oh, he doesn't want to go do this, you need to ask the person that you're making the assumption on questions. Like, my lady had a really tough time in the beginning of our relationship of just making assumptions. She's getting so much better now. Like, ooh, she gets so good at asking me questions. And I'd be like, sometimes I don't want to answer the questions because it's so obvious, but I know it's helping her because she's had such a difficulty in her life asking questions. So I know it's helping her. And that's the only thing that matters. It's growth. It's not perfection, it's growth. So if you can identify yourself and how you work, then you can start tweaking certain things, you know. And when you start tweaking certain things, it might take us some time, but guess what? You will change who you are. You will heal from what you've been through. It's just a matter of time. All right. This is your boy Malachi, Real Malfunction, with this awesome healing journey. I hope you guys like these videos, man, because I like making these videos, man. All right. Last but not least, make sure you smile. Make sure you give somebody else some good energy throughout the day. You know, it's free. This right here is free. All right. Giving somebody some good juju is free, man. All right. Love yourself. Okay. Last but not least, go ahead and click the link in the description if you want to learn from my mentors to make real money on YouTube. No fluff. All right. I'm out. I love you guys. We're going to have a good video for you guys tomorrow. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.